Order Up, a 5th edition campaign centered around restaurant and cooking. Oh, chat says they can't hear anyone. Problem solved. Hello again. Welcome back to Order Up, a 5th edition campaign here on twitch.tv /Kobold Press. My name is Rudy Basso. I will be your dungeon master for this and every other evening. Let us go around. Everyone, please introduce yourselves. Tell me the character that you are playing and your role in the restaurant. Let's start to my top right with Danny.
Hey y'all, my name is Danny, at Danny Plays Games. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Bernardi, who is the druid dwarf that is the gardener and also a busboy, or tries to be a busboy.
Nice. Let's continue clockwise and go down below to Autumn. Who are you playing?
Hello, my name is Autumn, at Autumn V. Graves on the internets, pronouns they and she. I am playing Vera, a human ranger who is a regular beer taster and wine taster at the restaurant, and also sometimes a forager and harvester of interesting ingredients.
Yes. Okay, moving along. Victoria, hello. Who are you? Who are you playing this evening?
Hi, I am Victoria. My pronouns are she, they. And I am playing Tuli Anga, who is a bear, very big bear, 800-pound bear. And I'm a brewmaster cleric.
Very cool. Brewmaster cleric. And then finally, moving above, Lynn, hello. Who are you playing and what is your person's role in the restaurant?
Hey, I'm Lynn, she, her, flying service, and I am playing Delfino, so she, her, a Dampier server and helper from the house. So she doesn't know anything about cooking, but she can describe it pretty well.
Nice. Okay, so we're doing something new and different today. We're adding new skills to the game. Whoa! I know, unprecedented, but this is something I'm playtesting. It's not really difficult stuff, but there are 2 new skills being added. They are harvesting, which is the act of cultivating crops or butchering an animal cleanly, and cooking, which is cooking. So harvesting is going to be dex based. So that's our modifier for that. And also and cooking is going to be wisdom based. We're going with now because cooking's improv, man. You just do what you do and it comes to you naturally. Get out of the books. You can't cook in a book. Okay. So everyone choose one of those and train yourself in them. Give yourself training, which I think is a +5 bonus to checks. So I will leave you all to determine which you choose. I think kind of actually speaks for itself. I don't know, Delphina, that might, it'll be exciting to find what you choose, the server. Okay, cool. So with that having been said, and we'll get into more of what that means later when I call for these checks, because there's also some interesting things that I'm playing with. Anyway, so last time we met, you were in a rush because Cleef, the co-owner of your restaurant, Slice of Sketty, was upset because the king of the kobolds was visiting that evening, and he had no idea what a kobold likes to eat, like a specific kobold dish, and neither did the head chef and co-owner and wife of Cleef, Raymundina. So you set out on a mission to find out. You were able to go to another kobold restaurant, find out they like sweet honey things and they like magical chickens. So you tracked down a magical chicken from a kind of weird guy, but that's all right. You defeated it and you brought it back with you to the restaurant. And that's where we are now. We are fast forwarding to that evening, unless anyone has any other preparations they want to do before evening service. I think we're good. We're good. All right, cool.
Well, I would like to make sure that the mead that I have is really good and honey-y.
Yes.
I back sweetened it and went out and found a time wizard.
Yes, of course. Time wizard appears.
To age, said Mead.
Yep, he casts time enhance, and the mead is aged, so it's that perfect place where it's right where you need it, and the backs you kill off the yeast, or so it doesn't continue to ferment too much with the back sweetened. So it's great. Also, actually, let's do this. Raymundina, who's our chef, also acts as the butcher, but she would like help doing it. So let's call for a harvesting check. First harvesting check ever made. Who would like to help her butcher the animal?
I feel like this falls within Vera's skill set.
Okay, cool.
So I will roll that.
All right, so give yourself advantage because she's kind of like helping as you butcher it. You're kind of working together.
Let's see if I can actually do this in.
Yeah.
Well, my first roll is a 17 plus 8.
Whoa. Okay.
So,
So here's how ingredients in harvesting work with my rules. If you beat the DC normally, you get 1 portion of the thing. If you beat the DC by we'll say 5, I think is what I'm going for, you get 2 portions of the thing. So your expert butchering skills allow you to get really clean slices, and you cut the animal really, really well. So you have enough to make, and this is a stew that you're making. So it is already going to be making a large batch to be served, but now you have enough to make 2 large batches. So well done. Harvesting. All right, cool. So in that case, does anyone have any other preparation? The owner has reserved a table for the king kobold, like a long table with lots of chairs. The mead is perfect amount of sweetness just to a kobold's liking. Delphina or Bernardi, do you have any other things you would like to do? Autumn's in the back, or Vera, excuse me, is in the back, slicing up that big bird. No is also a good answer.
Just have to wait to deal with issues when they come into the.
I like it.
I think Bernardi would walk into the kitchen and just kind of leave a basket of chicken of the woods, which is another type of mushroom, and just say, I don't know much about kobolds, but maybe somebody would want a vegetarian option, and just kind of like waddle his way out, but also leaving like dirt and rubble behind him.
Sure. Yeah, that's right. The perpetual pig pen disease. Yes. Okay, cool. So we're going to jump ahead then to later in the evening, because nothing really happens except a large amount of kobolds seem to be appearing. It sounds like word has gotten out that the Kobold King will be in attendance this evening. In addition, there are 2 other customers that kind of stand out to all of you. The first of which is a man with a lute, a big old lute. And, that's not too wild, but he sits down across from the lute. He puts the lute on the chair, and he seems to be talking to the lute as he dines. So that's a little weird. That's a little weird. That kind of throws you all off a little bit, maybe. No, you're professionals, but it's still a little odd. The other person is someone that you, Bernardi, recognize immediately. It is Wellworth Throvington, who is a well-known alchemist and, more importantly, horticulture expert. And he is known for like revolutionizing aspects of crop farming. Maybe he's the one who introduces crop rotation to the world of Midgard. That's a big deal. He's also infamous for hating the act of actually harvesting crops. So all his food and produce are missing one key ingredient: love. And I don't know, you tell me, how does that make you feel as someone who I think likes to be in there in the dirt, getting in there, getting the mushrooms, finding the perfect one?
Yeah, Bernardi can kind of relate, because Bernardi doesn't like when animals have to be harvested and butchered and stuff. But to take away the idea of Bernardi's beautiful crops, they probably don't see eye to eye on that level. And Bernardi's like constantly probably trying to just be like, try it. It's grown with love. There's love within it, but it's also tasty.
Are you so it sounds like you have a diplomatic approach. You're not like outspoken about how opposed you are to this point of view of his. Just okay, cool. Okay, so let me ask Delphina. Someone comes into the restaurant and sits down. How do you approach them as the server? Like, what is? Let's role play one. Let's do that. Sorry to make everybody wait as we go through this, but let's say that yes. So this is Wellworth Rovington. Sits down, takes out you give him a menu as you serve. Like how does this process?
Yeah,
Sits down.
Just smoothing menu. Glass of water, and then she'll do the thing of like put the water down and then go back to what she's doing, and then just kind of keep an eye. And
Sure.
People have a certain button when they kind of decide what they want. So she'll kind of like zoom past over there, and when she thinks they're ready, it's like
you see, he's flipping through the menu, and he kind of nods to himself and puts the menu down on the table and looks up, and you're there, right? You're there.
Yes.
Dampier speed. He goes, I will have mixed green salad to start, and then I will have portobello mushroom sandwich with chanterelles on top, and then battered mushroom fries to go with them.
Oh, excellent. The mushrooms are sourced right here, so we guarantee
Yes.
they are fresh. So
That is what I
Yes.
hear, that this is a mushroom-centric restaurant, if called upon.
That's we have certain varieties that are just specific and exclusive to this restaurant. So
Interesting indeed. Cool. Meanwhile, Thule, you're behind the bar, right? That's the bartender in addition to me. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So you've got lots of kobolds, you've got your meads. Especially with sweet drinks, they can be deceptively strong, I would say. So are you serving like the higher alcohol mead or the lower alcohol mead to the kobolds?
I think this is a nice like 5%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's because
definitely
we
not
had
good.
to get the time wizard in,
Sure.
and I wanted to make sure it was still good, and I didn't want a house full of rowdy kobolds.
Who does? But we'll see what happens. And then I want to know, Vera, definitely your help could be used in the back to kind of do some line cookery, or you can be helping in the front. Where would you be in this? You've been asked to help out for the evening. Where do you see yourself being most useful? Because that's where the owners will want you.
Vera's kind of just doing odd jobs.
Sure.
Whatever needs done around. So cleaning tables or
Sure.
cooking in the back, bouncing rowdy customers if necessary.
Oh boy. All right.
Yeah. Occasionally peering over Thule's shoulder, under Thule's elbow, probably. It's like, can I taste that?
Haha.
Oh, well, here you go. I've got a little taster mug for you. What would you like to start first? Would you like to start with the cherry mead? I just back sweetened it. It's quite good. It's not as sweet as the kobold stuff, but it's got a nice kick.
That sounds perfect.
Fantastic.
Vera does not have much of a sweet tooth.
It's actually quite dry. Try this.
Just take
Put
it.
my hand up higher so you can
Sip it.
Nice. Both you get inspiration for your excellent what's that? An improv when your physical improv skills. Cool. So actually, Thule, while you're serving Vera and having this side conversation, a kobold kind of ambles over and tries to go behind the bar and serve themselves.
I do a little sidestep so
Okay.
that my giant 8 foot tall, 800, however tall I am, 800-pound self is in between the where the bar lifts up.
Yes, exactly. So they actually duck underneath that. That's
Yeah,
how
I step there and I'm like, how can I help you?
Me thirsty.
Oh, well, I've got something to quench your thirst. Why don't you pull up a stool and I'll get that right for you.
He happily sits on the stool and orders, I want that one. He just points to a tap.
Oh, you want this one? Or I made something especially for the Kobold King. Would you like a treat?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll go to a different tap.
All right.
And pour a kobold a drink.
He seems very happy about having a special king drink. Speaking of which, at that moment, there's a hush that falls over the room as entering a kobold wearing a wooden crown with 4 other kobolds comes in. He kind of looks around back and forth and has this kind of air of nobility about him. Everyone who thinks they're front of house right now, make me a scholar or a history check.
Vera doesn't want to think they're front of house, but since they are
Sure.
in the front of house,
Yeah, that's what I meant. Who's physically
they will.
Announce your rolls. I'm not in roll 20.
8.
8.
9.
9. 5. 5. Great. Okay. Wow, the Kobold King is here in your tavern. Pretty neat. So Cleef goes over and right this way, the front of house manager, and he leads them to the reserved table. Meanwhile, in the back, Raymundina is like in the weeds. Making this other special kobold dish has kind of thrown her off her game, and she's just kind of rushing, and it's very much a domino effect in the back. When one thing falls behind, it continues to happen. So she turns to Bernardi and says, "Can you make this mushroom thing with all the mushrooms? I could really use some help with the mushroom thing."
So Bernardi just perks up because the word mushroom is like a trigger word for him. He's like, and then he just like opens up his little flannel jacket and there's just kind of mushrooms there. He's like, what do you need, boss?
The mushroom sandwich with the mushrooms on it with the side of mushrooms.
Mushroom on mushroom. I'll do my best. And he's kind of short, so he kind of has to get like a little step stool, and he just starts going at it.
All right. Let's make a cooking check. And this is a new thing. If you have a secret or like an ingredient that you know really, really well, you can have advantage. And I think mushrooms for Bernardi are something that he knows very, very well. So make a cooking check with advantage. We'll see how this goes.
All right. So that's a wisdom check, right?
Yes, wisdom, yeah.
What was that?
Whoa. So 21. Right? Yes. Okay. This is perfect. It's very mushroomy, obviously. It is mushrooms on mushrooms with mushrooms, but it somehow perfectly balances, you know? It's not just one mushroom you got going on here. You got the meatiness of the portobello, the baconiness of umami of the chanterelles, and then that kind of creamy, like deep fried kind of like goodness, potato-esque kind ofness of the fried. Like you knock it out of the park. All right, this is home run with a side of home run. Fantastic mushroom dish. So that goes over to Delphina. Ding ding. Is there a bell? Yeah, there's a bell system. Ding ding. Order up. And you can bring it over to Wellworth Thruvington. Meanwhile, there's a shout in the back. Come back here, Thule! Thule, I need your help. Vera, I need your help. It's
Oh dear. Oh, and then I wave over to a busboy, and I'm just like, just make sure the kobolds get their meat.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, who's this busboy? Let's make some staff up also. Let's make it halfling. Named. Anyone got a name for a halfling? We'll figure that out later. Okay, cool. So, yes. She calls you to the back and she says, something happened here. And she points to a flower, which is in like a container, like an airtight container. And as you look at it, it's all green. It looks wrong. Yeah. And she's like, I don't know what happened. Like, this was fine at lunch. You know, one of our most favorite things, our things that we're well known for is our bread service. Because you can't have sketty without bread. Everyone knows that, you know, to mop up all the sauce. So I need the two of you to find flour. If you could go out and to the city. I know it's late, but you might be able to find it in the underground sewer market because that's still open. Or if either of you have another source of flour in the city, I need it. The general stores probably are closed.
Just one moment. Just let me just try something. Just first.
Okay.
I would like to cast Purify Food and Drink.
All right. Good. Is that a DC or is that just I think that's just a go, right?
I think that's just a go. Let me Purify Food and Drink. Put it in chat there.
Okay. So I am going to ask for a roll actually though, because as you look at it, it's not just like spoiled or gone bad. It actually seems like it's been poisoned as you look at it further.
Okay. What kind of roll do you want me to make?
What is your spellcasting modifier as a
Wisdom.
Yeah, make me a wisdom check then. It's not a poison that will kill. It's a poison that will like make someone very sick immediately.
15.
Okay, that's enough. Yeah. You wave your paw and the green tinge goes away and the flower is all back to normal and looks great and delicious. So she is like, oh, thank goodness. You're a doll. And pat you on the arm.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to go up front because I left poor Tiddlywinks up at the bar.
Yes. Tiddlywinks. That is the name of the halfling who is also a busboy. Yes, Tiddlywinks. And as you go back, he's, because he's a little bit shorter, he has to use a step stool to get up to the back of the bar every time he needs to serve someone. And you see that kobold from before has once again gone behind the bar and is trying to serve himself some meat.
Oh, friend, don't do that. You are a guest. Please have a seat. Let me do my job and serve you and make you feel special.
Yes, me thirsty, he says again.
All right. Let's have a little bit more of that meat then, shall we?
Yes.
Here you go.
Thank you. Delphina, the Kobold King has been seated. He's waiting patiently. I assume you go over and attend him?
Yes. The food hasn't been served, has it? Or
no, so he hasn't ordered. The special of the evening, which is that honeyed faybird stew,
yes,
has been kind of held off to serve to normal people, to regular kobolds, non-nobility kobolds, we'll say. And he's, I guess now's the time. He's looking through a menu. How do you approach him?
Hello. How is everything? Everybody have their refreshments? Everything well taken care of? Everyone seated?
Good bread. He says.
Yes. We pride ourselves on the bread. If you're looking through the menu, we also have a special just for tonight. It is the magic chicken stew. It's nectar and mushrooms. So everything has a little bit of magic honey and this magic bird with mushrooms that we have sourced right here in this restaurant. And also in theming with this, there's a nice little earthy flavor to it.
Ooh. Earthy good.
Yes, and let me not forget about the mead. The mead is also sourced from the same honey that we use for the stew. So it'll go great with it, I'm sure.
Kobold love honey, he says. Honey claps. This is what kobolds are like, right? This is how I always saw them.
The king.
Yes, king. Yeah, they all would like all of those things. So
excellent. This question: are these like the number of kobolds that we prepared for? Are these like? Is this a normal? Or is it something we prepared for, or is this like more kobolds than was initially anticipated?
So it's definitely enough. Like the portion, if anything, maybe the expectation was that there would be more in this royal retinue than just a couple. And as you look closer, Delphina, and I'll give you some info, but why don't you go ahead and make me a perception check as well?
Excellent. 15.
So you don't know too much about kobold nobility or royalty, but even you would kind of be like, I kind of would have expected the Kobold King and his retinue to be wearing nicer clothing. Maybe his crown wouldn't be made of wood. Maybe that other kobold would. It looks like he's just wearing like a big coat. Doesn't look very fancy. That's weird.
I'll go. I'll kind of take that, and I'll go up to I'll go up to Cleef. So I'm not here to make assumptions. There's talk that like they always talk about the grandness of the Kobold King, and are we?
That's the kobold. And as you look around, you see the other kobolds are kind of giving sideward glances at this king, but they're not like of awe or like being impressed. It's kind of like, what does he think he's doing? And at that moment, there is a kind of outside of the restaurant.
Oh.
And two kobolds walk in with spears and stand on either side as another kobold wearing a golden crown walks in. And with him is a crown too. The queen kobold comes in with him. And he's wearing finery, one might say, along with a retinue of maybe 10 more kobolds. And they all look very nice. And he walks in and stands there expectantly waiting for someone to come to him.
I think I look at Cleef. It's like, oh no.
He faints.
I'll try and do this. I'll try and figure something out. I'm gonna keep them busy. I'm gonna go and tell the back.
Sure. Yeah. And Raymondina is still cooking. I don't. Maybe.
Raymondina, wait. We have a problem.
Yes.
How much of that can we make?
Oh, I think we can make more than enough for.
Can we make two? Double.
Yes, we can, because of the fine butchering job done earlier. I think we have more than enough for any kobolds. Right.
Because we have the Kobold King who had just arrived, and someone I think pretending to be the Kobold King.
Oh,
we're gonna have to.
There are lots of Kobold Kings, if you'll recall. There's one big king, but then there's lots of other kings. Maybe it's a lesser king.
Well, either way, we're gonna have to treat them both nicely because we don't know. Food critics are strange. They do odd things really to kind of like maintain their like secrecy. So this could be something. So I'm going to try and. Do you think we could set up another spot?
Yeah, like maybe when we need to distract. Maybe can someone give the new Kobold King, like a tour of the restaurant or the back, maybe the garden, Bernardi, or I don't know, just do something while we set up another table for them. Or maybe if someone wants to move the other king, the fake one, I'm not sure. What's the process for Kobold
I don't
King?
think we moved the king. We have to set up something
That's
new.
bad
because it's
service.
gonna
I
be-
agree. That's bad customer service.
They're going to think something's up.
Well, I
Yes.
mean, we could. Vera's just still standing in the back after this whole flower incident. Like, okay, I thought I was gonna go do something. She's like, we could just tell them that this fake king. It's easier to move a smaller party than it is to seed a larger one. So we could just tell them that the view is better on the other side.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
fine.
yeah. Do
Yeah,
it diplomatically. Do
Yeah,
it in
if
a way
we-
that doesn't seem like we need them to move because we don't like them.
Their ears might be good. So we'll refer to them as both kings, secondary, like first king, second king, because I don't think they're going to
Gold
like fake king.
Wooden king. I don't know.
First king, the first one that came
First
in.
king, second king.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
I stick
Oh, they
my
have
head through
names.
the door.
Oh yes.
Like, hey, do we have a chef's table?
Oh.
Or we can probably set one
Um,
up.
Yeah, not normally, but we can make that happen. Definitely, chef's table. It would have. Yeah, I think we could set something up.
So
I don't
Bernardi
think.
perks up and it's like, if we don't have room in the actual restaurant, take
Mhm.
him out to the garden, and I can whip something up on top
Oh,
of the
that's a good idea. We
on
can
top of something.
outdoor dining.
Outdoor
yes.
dining.
Outdoor
Outdoor
dining.
dining? Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
So, do you want to move the first king to the outdoor dining, or set up like a? Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely that's possible. So exclusive.
One night only.
Oh, so who is going to go? Oh, so who's going to go tell second king that they're eating outside?
Delphina can.
Okay, cool. And Thule, you return to the bar, and what do you know? That kobold's back there again. He's trying to serve himself more mead.
friend, welcome, friend. Yes, I know you're thirsty.
Be thirsty.
Okay, have a seat, and I'll get that drink for you.
Yeah.
And she's worried about how quickly he's consuming these drinks.
So why don't you make me a perception check? You don't know too much about kobold constitution or what a drunken kobold acts like, or maybe you do. So
12.
he seems all right.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't seem too drunk, but he seems to be excited about he's been trying to go for that King Kobold mead now after hearing more about it.
Okay, well, here you go. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers! He cheers you and takes a small sip of the mead. Okay, Delphina. The kobold is waiting patiently, Kobold King, and he's got a shirt that says his name on it, Quetzalmac.
Something.
And he has seen the other kobold, and he kind of frowns and he says, "You have seated Bauer the Daring, I see." And he looks over at the other king. There's a nice table that he is seated at.
Yeah, we all have very nice tables, King Quetzalmac, which is why we have one set. Have one set up right for you. Outdoor dining, because our special, as you see, is the magic chicken with the mushrooms, sourced right here, with a meads. And so we thought, since the weather is nice, and to show off what our restaurant can do, we have set up a outdoor dining for you. In the
Outdoor dining. And one of the smaller kobolds with him says, one of the retinue members, "Yeah, I don't want to eat outside. I want to eat inside. It's hot out." The king turns. Well, my nephew here is rather opposed to the concept. Maybe he could have a separate table inside. Would that be all right?
That would absolutely be fun. That would be perfect. Here to accommodate any of our customers, make sure they're comfortable. We'll have a very nice table set up, and whoever wants it, you can even have it close. So if they want to switch over, if anybody wants to have indoor and outdoor, we can accommodate that.
Okay. And yeah, several of the kobolds with him seem to want to eat inside as well. So I would say 4 members of his retinue eat inside, including the queen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she gives him side eye. You're not sure what that's about. And the rest of his party, which is 8 kobold nobles, including the king, agree to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would say, Delphina, while you are very good at serving, I think going outside and going inside might be a little too much for your workload. So someone else will have to be the server for the outside table. Who will that be?
Hmm.
I think we got Vera or Bernardi. I think one of you are going to have to be this.
Vera is actually surprisingly charismatic for something.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're gonna. Yeah, I think also we're gonna need speed to kind of like go in and out. So that sounds.
Yeah. I'd say Vera has some serving experience.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely.
Okay. Vera, can you help me?
Yeah, sure. I take it you want me to go outside in the sun. Is it still sunny out? I don't even know. I haven't been out. I feel like I haven't left this restaurant in like 6 hours.
It's a gorgeous dusk. The sun is going down.
Excellent.
Nice, beautiful red sky. There are 2 suns in Midgard? No, I don't know. Probably not. So it was very nice, though. Very picturesque. It was a perfect choice to bring them outside with this weather.
Yeah. That sounds perfectly fine. I can also this the inside table shouldn't be too hard, but I can if you need anything, I'll be right here. I'll stop by periodic, make sure everything's good.
Sounds good. I'm sure I can manage my best. If I have questions, I will let you know. Yeah, we got this. It's fine.
Yes.
Great, cool. So Vera, you bring them outside. I'm sorry, Vera or Vera? Vera. Okay, cool. You bring them outside and you seat them, and they kind of are talking to. Does anyone speak Draconic?
Hold, please.
You do?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the kobolds speak a kind of like a version of Draconic called Yip Yak.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's very barky, like they're speaking Draconic, but yeah, again, it's like Spanish to Italian, I guess. It's very, you can still understand it, but it does, some of their words are a little bit different, and so it kind of throws you off.
Yeah.
And you hear as Vera is leading out the nobles, and as you're bringing the queen and her little group to their table, like gossip, some hot goss between the 2 groups, specifically about, like, I guess, inner politics between them, and I don't like this guy and he's kind of a jerk and blah blah blah. So it seems like this division wasn't just about the weather, if you catch my drift. As you're leading them out too, Vera, the man with the lute stands up and he grabs the lute and he stands on his table and he says, "Good evening all. My name is Arthurio the Great, and I bring you the gift of song to our kings." And he looks at the one king who's being led out, and to the first king as well, who raises his glass at being noticed. And then he sings a song. Oh man, I didn't think any of you actually spoke Draconic. He sings a song in perfect Yip Yak, which I imagine sounds a little like and no accent. You can tell.
Yeah.
This is perfect, and it's like a beautiful tale, like an ancient epic poem, kind of 2 great kings who stood side by side. And Thule, make me an Arcana check.
I'm muted. I'm no longer muted now.
Nice.
Arcana. 9.
9. Okay. Well, you don't know exactly what's happening, but you can feel there's magic somewhere going on as he's singing. Like, maybe he didn't know, like, the way he, like, speaking Yip Yak, no matter how perfect you are as a human, your mouth just can't, like, be that perfect, right? Does that make sense? Like, your mouth isn't the same as a kobold's mouth. So something is going on here. It's not just him doing it. And as he's getting toward the ends of the song, Delphina, it takes a sudden turn, and it's not so complimentary. Suddenly he's talking about how the two kings were actually incompetent and they're terrible at their job.
Oh, she hears that. She hears like it's like nice, and then also she uses that speed.
Okay.
And just kind of grabs him by the collar. It's like, you need to change that song.
Classic, yeah. What?
We have
kings.
Yes, I know, and I know what that song is. If I give you
what? He kind of frowns. It's a song about two ancient kings. Classic kobold song.
It's
complimentary.
It's about two kings that fight.
What?
Yeah.
And you hear a voice in your head say, "Shut up! The idiot wasn't gonna get himself killed."
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
What's the voice? Was it kobold or was it something else?
It was just common, and it just seemed it was in your head, and it didn't seem of any particular race or anything.
Can you do something for me for a little? Can you play something instrumental? I have a request for you in a little bit. I'll make sure to give you some payment and some tips.
Sure.
If you want to just go around and play for them.
Oh, yeah. All right. I work on tips, he says.
Yes. She'll take a go and be like, here, consider this advance. And then she just rushes to Bernardi and Thule. There's the man with the lute.
There's some sort of magic going on.
Yes, there's some sort of magic going on.
His voice was magical.
Yeah, well, that and like, I talked to him. I told him to stop that song, and there's a little voice came in and said, it like laughed, and told him he was gonna get himself killed.
Oh,
do you know anything? There was a second voice.
Well, he was talking to the lute. That was weird.
Wait, do you think it's cursed?
Or sentient?
Or he is? Do you think he knows what songs he's singing?
Well, where is he?
He's walking around. I told him to walk to like set to play for everyone around without saying anything. Figure he's good, but the songs that he's playing are not. You sent a
possessed musician around the restaurant when there's two kings here.
I told him.
Oh, and you hear him in the back.
I told him not. I announced him like, I will kill him, and I will drink his blood.
He's singing again in Yip Yak, but it's like a tale about a kobold who finds some cheese, and he gets to eat all the cheese, and he shares the cheese with his friends, kobold friends, and there's like clapping going along from the kobolds. They seem to be enjoying the song.
Okay, well, maybe after this song, we can offer to give him a tour of the kitchen.
Yes.
Oh boy.
This is magic. I don't know what to do. I thought either of you would know about this. I mean, he's good. I mean, there's something between the Kobold King and the Queen that maybe if we play good music, maybe it would help.
Oh, are we playing like matchmaker now?
I mean, it can only help with like how they feel, how the king feels about the restaurant if good things happen here. I've seen it done before.
Well, what if we were to offer the king and queen a nice table romantic evening?
Oh, you mean like special dessert course, right?
Yes.
That's something we can arrange, but first we have to deal with that problem. We have like a little under an hour, so we have to figure out something before we get to that course. And I don't know how long that's gonna hold up before he gets to like the really, really offensive songs.
Let's see. He's moved on to his song. Again, a lot of Kobold songs seems to be about finding food and eating the food, and that's pretty great. It's about a kobold who finds a pie on a windowsill. Okay. Decides to take that pie, and then is rewarded by the pie maker for it's like a sign of respect in kobold community.
Yeah.
So then he gets another pie. So
okay. Good song. told not to vocalize.
It's
so
called the Pie Song. I
good.
think it's known as the Pie Song colloquially.
Yeah. So okay, it's like I have to take care of the tables, but I will bring him right here. I'll tell him that.
Maybe I'll offer him a nice sampling
Yes.
of our ales.
Yes, like maybe like. Oh,
A
you
nice
need.
flight, a tasting flight.
Yes, I'll bring him right over. God, where is he? I'll be right back.
Meanwhile, outside, Vera, Tiddlywinks has set up a table very quickly and put a nice tablecloth over it, and all of the kobolds are seated. So we heard Delphina describe what the special is for the evening. How would you describe the special, Vera?
So Vera is there, and they bow and introduce
Oh.
themselves, and very, very cordial. So we do have a special this evening. It is a August rooster stew with local. Was it August or autumn? I did not take notes
I
last.
think it was
time.
August. I think you got it, yeah.
Okay, August rooster stew with some very special mushrooms that we grow exclusively here in our gardens, made with some very special, slightly magic honey nectar.
Oh.
I believe you will find it complements our special mead for the evening, courtesy of our brewmaster. And they just kind of hold up a pitcher and a tray of glasses and pass them around and fill them.
Oh, ooh, such service. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Of
And-
course. We are at your disposal this evening.
Will there be any entertainment? I notice we are outside. I thought I heard the sounds of a lute coming from inside. Will he be coming out here as well?
I do so hope so. Once he finishes the rounds, I will be sure that he is sent out.
Ah, most excellent. Most excellent. Thank you kindly.
You are very welcome.
And
Is there
then-
anything else I can get for you before the food arrives?
I hear the bread is quite excellent at this restaurant. I
We
would
do
like
pride
some bread.
ourselves on our bread.
Ah,
I will bring that out right away.
many thank yous.
You are very welcome. And Vera will rush back inside to find bread and like some sweetened like honey butter,
Oh,
butter or something.
yeah, nice. That's not a thing normally served, but yeah, I think
Yeah.
you can throw something together.
I
In
think-
fact, let's make a cooking check.
All right.
Yay! You're
Let's,
making honey butter. This is not a difficult thing to make, we'll say. So if you roll really well, it'll be
honey.
honey butter.
14.
14. Okay, so here's how my rules work for cooking. If you roll 10 over the DC, your food is delicious. And if you roll a crit, it's extra delicious. So right now you have made delicious honey butter.
Amazing.
You know what? If you're tasting it, obviously, as you cook, like any good cook. And when you eat a food, you get a bonus, like a potion, and you can have one per day. And we're going to say, with honey butter, which isn't very complicated or anything, I'm going to say that you get, you can move 1.5 times your move speed in combat for the day. So I think you're probably 30 feet, so you can move 45.
Yes.
And that includes out of combat. You just move faster. You know what I mean?
Does this also apply to the guests that I'm serving it to?
Oh, yeah,
Are
I
they
guess
gonna
it
have
does.
super speed kobolds?
Fast kobolds.
Yes. So they will be speedier as well for
Okay.
this magic honey butter that you have made. Well done. First cooking check. Wow, Autumn, you're getting all the checks. First
Yep.
checks. Special thank you in the book to Autumn. Okay. Back inside, the lute player is still kind of making his rounds. He's actually gone over to the first king and is now like trying to play exclusively. Like you see him beelining towards them. If you would like to interrupt, you have the time to do so.
Yeah, I think she'll do the thing of like getting and then just kind of like hand on shoulder, hand on back, just kind of steer him away. It's like
He's
you must be thirsty. You must, we
yes.
our brewmaster has something just right up to help with the vocal cords. Believe me, I know I sing. So
Perhaps you
Right
can
back
join
there.
me then for a duet. Do you know the tale of the kobold who ate too much stew?
I've heard of it a little bit. Yeah. And she thinks like, oh no. She's like, yes, I do.
You hear a voice in your head again say, "Let him sing to the king. I have something special in mind for that song."
Oh no. She's like, oh god. Okay. Kitchen. And she just comes like just wide eyes at like Thule and Bernardi. It's like she like eyes at like either him or the loot. It's like,
Oh, yes, I have a flight just for you, and it's nice and coating of the vocal cords makes them all nice and good to go.
Throat
just
coat?
like red wine.
Oh, yes, red wine. Classic drinking. That's an old singer's trick. Have a little red wine with your evening meal, and then you'll sing like the best.
Mm-hmm. It keeps your throat from going dry. This will help you just sing all night.
Oh, excellent. Yes, then I will have your flight of ales, was it?
Oh, it's a mixture of the things we have on tap on in-house. So we have a nice porter.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we try with that one? It's nice and
Is this distracting, or is there? That's all we're doing. We're just distracting here, or
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just okay. Cool. Yeah.
I'm trying to keep him occupied.
Yeah. Out of the corner of your eye, while you're occupying him, you see a little head go underneath the bar thing again, and then you see that head move over to the tap.
Oh, hey, friend, have a seat. I'll get you a drink too.
Me thirsty. He says.
Oh, I know. We're all thirsty.
oh, I can get him. Just
Thank you.
Delphina, if Bernard's like chopping mushrooms, if you just send him outside, I think that might be a little bit more of a distraction. Just keep him away from inside King 1. I don't know. And he goes back to chopping.
Do you know, Bernard, you know magic things, so what does that look? Does that look like anything? Does it have like a weird like aura to it?
Yeah, Bernardi, you can give me an Arcana check too. I'm sorry, I forgot. You're also a spellcaster.
That's just okay.
It's weird. It's strange, and I think it's goading him to do bad things.
Oof.
Oh no.
See, I think I probably gave you inspiration if you want to reroll.
Yeah, let me re-roll.
Okay, cool.
One more time. Okay, there we go. 15.
Yeah, so that loot is magic. That loot is definitely like this guy. In the short amount of time you've spoken to him, he seems like a bit of a dum-dum. So there's no way that he was able to like learn this difficult language and learn it so perfectly and learn it. Yeah, he's this something is off. Like he must be getting this ability from the loot.
So Bernardi's like, where did you get this instrument? While he's sipping on this porter.
Well, I'm a man who's seen many places and been many places. And once on the road, I heard, I don't know what it was. It was a calling, if you will. I just knew over there in that camp where there's a bunch of, dead people. I don't know what had happened, but the loot, it called to me. And there might have been a scuffle or something. I see a lot of unfortunate things in my travels. It happens. I'm being a little too forward probably with this information, to be honest. It sounds like I stole something from a bunch of dead people, but they were already dead. I didn't kill them. I found the loot. The loot said it was fine. The loot is fine. The loot is my best friend. I have to leave now. And he walks out with the loot. And he seems to be walking towards the king again.
Oh dear.
I mean, he is good. If we can wrangle, I didn't think I'd have to babysit a musician tonight.
You take care of your Kobold King, and where's Twiddly Dinks?
He's busboying.
Winks.
Since Bernardi is doing help in the back with cooking, he's kind of taken over busboy duties.
Okay, Tiddlywink.
Yes.
Make
Yes.
sure our little friend here gets their drinks, because they get thirsty and they'll run behind the bar.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I thought he was like. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Just.
No, that's fine.
Oh.
Just, you do that, and yeah, I'll be back.
Okay. Great. Meanwhile.
Vera.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, I feel like Vera has come inside at this point and kind of like sidles up to Delphina and is like, "Can we send that musician outside at some point? The king too is requesting entertainment, and that's not my skill set."
Oh no, she's like, oh no, he heard it.
Oh.
He heard it.
Oh, is that not a good thing?
He's singing. He's singing in perfect kobold, but I think the lute wants bad things to happen, and I don't think he knows what he's singing.
Oh, probably not.
How are things
Sounds
out
like a
there?
dog barking. Oh, they're fine. They're very excited about everything. Yeah, it's fine. You know, if you send them out and bad things happen, I could just shoot the guy.
I mean, I could.
Kobolds like blood sport. Like, is that a thing?
Oh yeah, kobolds. I mean, yeah, within the legality of the cities they're in, you know, kobolds love a good fight.
You know,
I could-
I've got my bow.
Yeah, I could also have dinner on.
Well,
if he
I
does
could
anything.
just take out his kneecaps and then you can have him as dinner. I mean, I don't fucking care.
Well,
It would be bad. It would be bad.
I give a little suggestion to the lute, just in case.
Yes, please talk to the
Oh.
lute.
Sure.
To charm the
Because
lute, but that's about it.
it's me. I mean, it's probably not his fault what he's doing. He probably thinks he has a golden meal ticket with this thing.
Oh, it's
Yes,
cursed, isn't
that's
it?
fine. And well, maybe we can reason with the lute.
Good. I can talk in kobold. I can listen to him, and you can talk to the lute. I like this.
Okay, this is good. And so I approach our bard man, and I put a giant paw on his shoulder, and just a little bit of pressure, but enough pressure to make him like stop.
Oh yeah.
Can I also, like, if to distract, I'll also ask him about the song. Can you write down the lyrics to that song?
Which one? The kobold that ate too much stew, or ate the pie, or ate the cheese? You gotta
No, the
be
one
specific
the
with
one
which
we're gonna
food song.
the one we're gonna sing for the Kobold King.
Oh, the tale of the two ancient kings who both united the kobold world and were the best. Right?
No,
That's
I
how that
was
song
thinking about the love song. If you know one.
Oh, a love song between
Yes.
two kobolds that were from different noble
Yes,
families.
yes.
And the families hated each other, but then they fell in love. And it was called...
It's a classic. Yes.
Someone can think of two kobold names that parody Romeo and Juliet. You'll get inspiration. Let it come to you later. I'm sure it will. Cool. So yes, he's like, oh yes, that classic love song, and everyone knows.
Mhm.
Well, if you're a kobold, yeah, I can write down the lyrics for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He does that a lot. Like he finishes talking and then throws a little like strum to kind of give himself a little like
Musicians.
accent to it. Yeah, like a little
Mhm.
musical tinge to his words.
So
Okay,
as that
Cobliol
is
and
going-
Juliet. Oh my God, I wish
Oh,
I could
that's that's very good. I love it.
Andreas in chat. Coblio
Oh,
and
and
Juliet.
Juliet.
Yes, you get inspiration. Good job. Yes.
I would like to, as this is going on, cast suggestion
Oh,
on the lute.
okay, that is I assume, is that a saving throw that the lute needs to make?
Yeah, it's a DC 14.
Jeez. Wow, I just heard a very loud roll 20 sound. Okay.
And DC 14 wisdom.
Okay. Okay, it rolls a 12, so it
Woohoo!
fails.
So
So
this
complete
is a concentration spell
please. Okay.
up to 8 hours. And I just suggest a course of activity limited to a sentence or two. Magically influence a creature I can see within range that can understand me. And they can't do anything that would harm themselves. So I'd be like, so you want to impress the Kobold King with a beautiful song that will unite him with his queen.
Okay. I definitely think that this is one of those things where it's like a monkey paw kind of thing where it will listen to your suggestion, but it will also try its best to like circumvent it in a way that makes it's still following what you told it to do, but maybe it's trying to get away with something else. So if you could repeat your wording exactly as you want it to be, just so everybody's clear on what we're going for.
You wish to honor the king in a manner in which the king would find pleasing, and also bring him and the queen of kobolds, his wife, together in harmonious union, but make sure the dirty stuff is in private.
Okay.
That is an excellent last. I'm like, oh no.
Okay. You said wife in there, right? You definitely said wife. All right, good. That was an important word. So you know, that was an important word. Yes. So, I guess, yeah. The he's kind of strumming nonchalantly, and there's like a ding as the suggestion takes hold. The lute is communicating that it worked. Cool. Let's go back outside to the second king, Quetelmec. He's wearing a name tag. And there seems to be a bit of a louder commotion going outside. It seems like two members of the retinue are getting in a bit of a heated argument. And you recognize that one of them looks like, just based on their features, one of the ones arguing looks like she may be related to the queen, just like they've got that kind of maybe same coloring to them. And you don't know what they're saying because you don't speak Draconic, right?
Nope.
Vera? Okay. If you want, you can make a check to try and, determine what might be going on here. What do you think?
Hear the commotion before I step over the threshold? And
Definitely.
Step outside?
Yeah, they're being pretty loud.
I turn to Delphina.
Okay.
And I'm like, sorry, could I borrow you for a minute? They're arguing, and I may speak 5 languages. Draconic is not one of them. I'm good at speaking to plants.
Cool.
And halflings.
All right. She tilts out toward the front. It's like, okay, I think I have a little bit of time. Oh God, what's happening out there?
Yes. So they are arguing indeed. It seems like maybe, let's see, maybe the king's eyes wander a bit too much for the queen's liking, and the one kobold is arguing that point, and then the other one has taken up the defense of the king, who kind of is ignoring them and not intervening, just kind of watching. So that's what they're arguing about. It's heated. It doesn't look like they're going to come to blows, but it seems it seems heated.
And they think Delphina's like, that's not good. And she gets to Vera and just that one is scolding the king for having a little bit of a wandering eye. It's awkward.
Oh yeah, no, sounds like it. Well, I'm not gonna get in the middle of that. How about we just is the food ready yet?
Yes, the food is ready. Actually,
maybe the food will
ding ding.
Yeah,
with food, because that solves all arguments.
Yes. The food. Yes. Okay, cool. You put food down in front of everybody, and that's exactly what was needed.
Food.
It just kind of chills, especially since obviously food is a big part of kobold culture, as I've established with all these songs about kobolds finding food.
I also refill the bread and the meat and the water.
My goodness.
Without
Triple
being
threat.
asked, and just make sure there's a full spread on the table. Honey butter for the bread. Yeah.
Great. Meanwhile, Tiddlywinks has come to the back to get Bernardi. He says, the human who ordered all the mushrooms wanted to speak with the chef about the mushrooms. You made the mushrooms, right?
Bernardi looks up and is like, yep, I did. And he goes right back to shopping.
He wanted a word with you.
Right now?
Yeah, right now. He wanted to speak with the chef.
Bernardi kind of grumbles and gets down and and just kind of waddles out and peeks my head out and looks at Wellerington.
Wellworth Throwing. Wellworth Throwington.
Kind of peeks out the kitchen and just waves at Wellworth and it's like, sir.
He raises his glass to you and kind of motions to come over.
Bernardi is a little upset that he's being taken away from his mushrooms from the kitchen, but he kind of waddles over and kind of tips his hat.
Sir, I wanted to speak with you because I am impressed. I've been around a few mushrooms in my day. A few mushrooms. I'm being modest, if I must say so myself. More than a few mushrooms. And let me tell you, these mushrooms, they were prepared perfectly, of course. But the depth of flavor from them, something else. It wasn't just the preparations, it was the mushrooms themselves that impressed me so much. You may know me. My name, of course, Welbin Throwington III. I do work with the council on horticulture matters, and I am looking maybe for a part-time apprentice to speak with about horticultural things. I have my own advisors. Maybe if you're willing or interested, maybe you can visit with us some point and have a conversation.
And Bernardi kind of just looks around at the restaurant, clitter clattering going on, and he's like, I'm really comfortable with what I'm doing here. And my garden is kind of my thing. So when you say apprentice, what do you mean?
I mean, in an advisory, I have open discussions with different members of the gardening community in the city. We talk gardening, garden talk. That's what we call it. It means work. But it's about discussing new and interesting ways to farm and to raise crops. I'm curious about your process, since these mushrooms are so well treated and well mannered. I would be interested in your process. I don't know if it's a secret. Perhaps you can give us a little hint.
It's a family secret. So, and Bernardi just kind of looks at Delphina and kind of like, help. Don't want to talk to this guy anymore. He's giving me
he starts to a family secret. Hey, well, I can tell you a little bit about the Throwington family. We too have many secrets. It seems like he's about to go into a long spiel about himself. He seems to like to talk about himself.
I think she'll go she sees Bernard and just like, oh shoot. And then she goes into the back and it's like, is there any dessert? Do we have any dessert that's just ready?
Yes. We have. I just made a custard tart.
Okay, we don't need this one, right? Because I need to build. Bernardi's being like, something's happening out there.
Okay, no, I mean I have a bunch of them, so.
Okay, good. And then she'll come out with a tart. It's like
what have we here?
Right to the chef. Wanted to bring this out on the house.
Well, I have a bit of a sweet tooth. The Throwingtons are known for their love of all things sweet and sugary. So, yes, I will accept this. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Like,
enjoy it.
Oh, I will. Thank you.
And then
good evening. He raises his wine glass again. Fine evening to both of you. That lute player seems very talented.
Oh, he's delightful.
Yes. Throwingtons know a little bit of kobold. His accent is flawless.
It certainly is.
Good.
And she'll do the thing of kind of like stepping in front of Bernardi and just giving him like time to like.
Yeah, he's digging into that tart.
And then she'll do like Kurt like bounce like enjoy. And she'll go back. What was that?
No, he was talking about a horticulture club and trying to get my secrets.
Oh, so it was good then.
I think so. But I don't know. I have a bad
fun
feeling
with this. Okay, great. I'm writing his name down just so I don't forget it because I keep forgetting it. Wellworth Throwington III. Yes.
I thought there was something wrong with it for a second, but
no, he really liked it.
Which that's great. That means everyone else is going to be happy. So, good job.
Thanks. The secret ingredient is love, and he just like climbs back up on his little sous chef table and starts chopping.
It's like what? Okay. It's just like, oh shoot! It's like shoot the. She's like, she sees the loop. She sees the loop player. It's like, okay, I have to just get in within earshot of him just to make sure he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, so he is singing a song, and he's like not singing directly to the queen, but he's kind of hovering in the area around her, and he's singing a song. If anyone can think of a Kobold parody of any love song, you'll get inspiration about just how about how there's the king and queen's love is greater than any other because they have the pressure of royalty on them as well. So it's important that they lead by example of love.
Okay.
Very pretty song.
It's going according to, yeah, she's going to zip back into the where Thule and the back. It's like, do we have any special desserts? Like anything flashy, like whooshy.
Yeah, there's a dessert called Death by Chocolate that's it's like the king of pies. It's like a super duper pie. It's like chocolate on chocolate on chocolate. Chocolate graham cracker crust filled with a chocolate pudding covered in chocolate ganache, covered with chocolate sprinkles and chocolate shavings.
It's a lot of chocolate.
I
assume it's good.
I feel like chocolate.
Yeah, she's like, I think she's thinking of a time where like chocolate must be good, and it's just like
kobolds love chocolate.
That's good. Excellent. Can that be prepared as the main course as the final course for the king, for second king?
For the king and the queen?
Yes,
the second king. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna try and set up something. So we're gonna try and set up a little table for like at the end. So, well, this is a long shot.
Thule, you hear an "ow, hey" from the bar area, and a small crash as it seems as though, yeah, Tiddlywink has been knocked over from his stool that he stands on to pour drinks by that kobold, who is now pouring himself another mead from the king's mead with an intent look in his eyes.
Is he a mean drunk? Can I perceive his drunkenness?
You may. Yes, you may. You don't even he doesn't seem drunk. He doesn't seem drunk.
No, he doesn't? Okay.
No.
All right. Friend Kobold, what is your name anyway? Welcome to Slice of Sketty. But there are some rules. Because of health regulations, you can't step behind this area. I can't. It's not properly licensed for you to be back here. I'm gonna have to ask you to step back, go back to your cozy little stool, and I'll get you a drink because I know you're thirsty. I know, but we don't make the rules.
While you're saying all this, he continues to pour himself the mead.
A big paw comes down onto his shoulder. Friend, please go sit down on your cozy little stool, and I will get you your drink.
Make an intimidate check with advantage.
All right.
And we're going to throw another wrench in the mechanics. You can use your strength bonus instead of charisma if you want.
Ooh.
So your modifier.
So I'll run strength because I don't have any proficiencies in.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I'm messing with 5e. Here we go.
Five.
But
I have an advantage, so 14.
14. Okay, yeah. He doesn't seem frightened by your big paw on his shoulder. He does acquiesce, but it isn't in a I'm scared way. He seems, like I said, he seems really determined to pour this drink. So, don't know what's going on there.
I have inspiration.
You do?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna use it.
Okay.
This is important. This little fiend is going to get into trouble. 11.
Okay.
So that's okay.
So he stops pouring a drink because he's filled his tankard, and then kind of he doesn't snarl at you, but he gives you like a look, like a look. Where you look back.
Back.
You just stare at each other, and then he walks out, and you see he doesn't go back to his stool. He starts walking across the whole restaurant somewhere else.
What direction somewhere else?
Towards the outside garden, it seems like.
Yeah, I'm walking right over there. Nope. Big nope.
Eh.
And I grab him by the scruff of the neck.
Oh! Ah!
And I pick him up.
Ah! I'm just serving the king. I am his servant. I am.
No, you're not. You
Yes, I
weren't
am.
here before. You did not come with
No.
the retinue.
I'm a new retinue member.
No,
I'm
you're
stout.
not. You were a liar.
I'm the taster. I taste the food for the king or the drinks. That's why I was thirsty.
I carried him to the door.
Okay.
A side door
Sure. Yeah, definitely. There's a door in the back.
that doesn't lead to the garden.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm going to roll a die because the die is going to determine what may or may happen. I'm going to roll a D2. Okay. He struggles, but you wouldn't even have to make checks. You're able to easily lift him up and carry him out. And he spills some of the mead, and as it hits the ground, it sizzles in a way that your mead should not be sizzling.
Oh.
And when that happens, his eyebrows go up, and he starts to really struggle.
Does Vera see any of this since this was coming in
Absolutely.
their direction?
Yep.
Their hand immediately goes to their back, and they just look at. You'd see them standing kind of inside the door, so that the king outside cannot see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You
However,
can block line of sight. Yeah.
But their bow is suddenly very casually in their hand. They kind of have their hands like this in front of them on top of their bow.
You're just kneeling. You're just kneeling on the bow.
They're just leaning, and they just look
leaning on
over
the
at
bow.
Tuli and like, "Hey, Tuli, what's going on?"
Yeah, I mean, you can tell also with your ranger background that sizzling is from a poison.
So I am going to use my primeval awareness,
yeah.
and also use the market awareness feature so that I can choose one type of item or commodity. And I'm going to choose poison, and I would like to sense the location of all the poison within 30 feet, which I am assuming includes the outdoor table.
Yeah, so all the poison is centered right on that mug, that tankard that he is holding.
Vera is going to walk up and cast Charm Person on the kobold.
Cool.
I would like answers.
Yes, Charm Person. Can you read that out loud? I always get confused with these kinds of
Yes.
spells.
Oh, actually, never mind. It has to be on a humanoid. Do kobolds count as humanoid?
Kobold is humanoid, yeah.
Okay. So you attempt to charm a humanoid you can see within range. It must make a wisdom saving throw, and does so with advantage if you or your companions are fighting it. If it fails the saving throw, it is charmed by you until the spell ends or until you or your companions do anything harmful to it. The charmed creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you.
What is your DC here?
13.
13. Yeah. Whoa, he rolls a natural 20. Okay. He is not charmed by you. He says, "No, let me go! Let me go!" And he struggles some more.
No, I think we're gonna go for a quick little jaunt outside, shall
Actually, he's gonna let's roll off. He's gonna try and break your grapple. This is kobold versus bear person.
Strength.
Strength, yeah. Okay, he rolled a 2. Okay, yeah. He
12.
does not escape your grasp as he tries to like wiggle his way out. So where would you like to take him?
I would like to take him outside, and I would I would assume that the city guard, knowing that a Kobold King was around, would have some extra people around here.
Definitely. There's in fact, there's like so the king himself has his little retinue of spearmen, but there's also, you can see again, kind of like hovering in the area, a handful of city guard that seem to be a little bit more well armed than normal.
Excuse me, guards people.
Yes, citizen.
We have this little friend here who has tried to poison the king.
Wow. Okay, you seem very calm, and I appreciate your candor. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. Should I let go of him now and
they take out manacles. We'll take care of him, and they grab the tankard, and this will be evidence. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go make sure nothing else was poisoned.
What is your name? So we can give you an award later.
Oh, you're welcome. You can award me at any time you like. My name is Tulianga, and I'm there at Slice of Sketty all the time.
Slice of Sketty. What a name.
I know, isn't it great?
Yeah. Well, best to you. Have a wonderful evening. We hope we hear good things from the Kobold King about your restaurant.
Oh, so do we. So do we.
If the food is anything like the service, I think you'll be all right.
Well, thank you. Now you take care of our kobold friend, and I'll go back inside.
Will do.
Thank you.
Yay. Good job, Thule. Okay, the loot player. It's been a couple minutes. Suggestion. They can roll the save against that, or how long does that last? Oh, muted.
It's up to 8 hours concentration. Let me see. Ask who you to...
Did you put it in chat earlier?
Yeah, if you scroll up, you can see it. Yeah, it doesn't say. It just says it's just the initial wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't say anything about rounds.
This song continues quite nicely. Outside, Vera and Delphine. Was anything else anyone had to do? I'm just trying to think. There's so much going on. I don't think so, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. So there's windows outside facing the garden where the king and his retinue are having their dinner, and you can see it's like on a raised window, so you can't see who's doing it. But Vera, while you're out there attending them, a window is opened, and a piece of bread covered in like a sticky sauce is thrown at the table, and it hits one of the kobolds right in the face. And he goes, "Ah! Assassination attempt!"
It's not poisoned, is it?
No, it's just bread with like gravy on it. Oh, it's some of the sketty sauce.
Vera quickly goes over, pulls out a cloth from one of their many pockets, and wipes it off. And it's like, you are fine, sir, ma'am. Gender neutral, honorific.
Sure. Make a persuasion check, because you see in the corner of your eye that kobold has picked up his own piece of bread and covered it in gravy, as though he is ready to throw it back.
No.
Persuasion? Hey, I'm actually pretty good at that.
Yeah.
16.
Okay, he goes.
I do apologize. I will be sure to look into it. I can assure you that our security is top notch. And she taps the bow that's on her back.
His eyebrows go a little wide.
The bow is like as big as he is.
Yeah.
Because it's a large long bow. So, and she just kind of refills his glass of mead, as she's just she finishes like wiping off all the sauce and clearing any evidence of it. And kind of goes back in and looks at whoever's around. I'm like, somebody's trying to start a food fight through one of the upper windows into the garden. Might want to keep an eye on that.
When Bernardi hears something's wrong with his garden, he just drops everything and immediately runs out there and just starts looking around to see if there's anything out of the norm.
All right. Make a perception check.
Oof.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
You know what? It's your garden. You know it so well. I'll let you roll with advantage so you can roll again. You rolled a 5.
Super oof.
You rolled a 5 again. Yeah. Seems fine. Seems good. Seems normal. Seems great, actually. You're proud as you look at your garden, especially with all the compliments you've recently gotten. You're proud of your work.
So Bernardi just goes back in and kind of looks up at
Anything?
there, and it's like, everything's fine. And then he just goes back to chopping.
Oh. Just things keep going wrong. It's like at least we're not. Well, at least you're handling it, and we're handling it.
Don't jinx it. Rule number 1
Well,
of service.
well.
Don't jinx it.
I need any server assurance I can get this month because it is tonight. It's especially harried.
Well, we foiled a legitimate assassination attempt, and so far the guests outside, aside from court drama, are really enjoying it. I think.
I think they are, and the loot player is actually staying on task and not doing anything offensive. Yes, not yet.
Perfect. Well, I'd call that a success in progress.
Okay, so main course is done. Just do the dessert, and they can be happy, and we can be happy, and this night will be over.
Did you tell the loot player to go outside as well to entertain King 2? I don't remember.
I think we told him to make the rounds. I think.
Make the rounds. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we did hear that the king, like, where's the loot? There's a loot player inside. Where?
Yeah. So he goes outside and starts playing to them as well, and they enjoy it a lot. And you see the king is like he's got a thoughtful look in his eye, an introspective look. And then you see he kind of like nods to himself. Blah, 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 blah. He says something in Draconic to the other, and they all bang the table and applause. Whatever he said was the right thing to say. Okay, cool. So dessert, right? We want to serve dessert. Death by chocolate.
Death by chocolate.
And Ray Mudini says maybe you should try and get the queen to go out to the garden to serve the king. So they eat it, or with the king, so they'll eat it together. I think now's the time. Got the song. It seems to really have inspired the both of them. I think it's a good idea. Oh yeah, Cleef's in the back too. He's like, yeah, that's a good idea. He seems to still be recovering from.
Cleef, just hang in there. We're almost done. We have this in hand.
Where's Thule? I need some of the wine. My throat needs to be coated for singing.
Oh, yep, we have some wine. And I get a nice Cabernet Sauvignon, medium bodied.
Oh, inspiration for Victoria for more alcohol talk. Love it. Okay. Yeah. So, so the queen is not going to go on her own accord. She needs to be nudged.
Yes. Oh yeah, Delphine will go out and it's like, Your Highness, we have a special end to the night dessert set up in the garden. If you would join us, I'm sure it'll be worth your time. It is our special death by chocolate dessert.
Ooh, I love chocolate.
With the best.
And you hear a voice in your head
wine.
say, "Kobolds love chocolate." It's the voice from before.
Kobolds love chocolate.
Okay, that sounds fun, she says, and she stands up and starts following you to the Mac. And some additional chairs are brought out, and the kobolds all sit down, and you slice up this death by chocolate pie, and everyone seems to love it. Delphina, make a perception check outside.
Oh. 9. Oh my god. You want? inspiration for that. I'll use that. Yeah.
Okay,
That is
you rolled
worse.
that one. Yeah. You rolled 2 nat ones. Didn't this happen last time too?
This
but
did
it was
happen
2
last
nat
time.
20s or what is it? 1 in 40,000? Wow.
I've seen that come up more than that.
Okay. Call roll 20. All right. So,
Everything's fine.
yeah, okay. So the chocolate cake is cut in half and everyone stops to wait to eat, and the king stands up and speaks in Kobold, and he says, because you speak the language, I know there have been problems domestically lately between myself and my queen, and I just want to say that it is entirely my fault. And I need to act more like the king that I am, that you have all kept me in power because you know that I am not like other Kobold Kings. I know that the good of the clan, the good of our community comes from helping one another. We need to change our songs from kobolds finding food and eating it all themselves and getting stomach aches to kobolds finding food and sharing it with the other kobolds in the community. Yes, we need to be working together as one wonderful kobold community. And Vera, at that moment, you get the sense that poison has appeared in one of the corners of the garden. Poison has just been applied to what looks like an arrow by your senses.
Okay. I would like to let's see. I actually so as this is I'm going to cast this spell.
Oh, very cool. Read that spell aloud, yeah.
And so not trying to draw attention to herself, more so just like if the kobolds are making noise after the king's speech.
Oh yeah, claps more that
Vera, in one
bonking.
of the claps of her hands. So you clap your hands, setting off a chain of tiny events that culminate in throwing off an enemy's aim.
Yeah.
When an enemy makes a ranged attack with a weapon or spell that hits one of your allies, this spell causes the enemy to re-roll the attack roll unless the enemy makes a successful charisma saving throw.
Okay. So
they effectively have disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm actually going to say if they fail the charisma throw, then the shot goes super duper wild.
Okay. And sensing this, Vera is also going to try to look around and like nudge Delphina, who is next there, and is like, trouble.
Okay, things are going well. What is it?
Like a poisoned arrow?
Yeah, so underneath the clapping, the two of you hear the distinct of like an arrow going by. It sounds like it's going in another direction completely, but it definitely, an arrow was just fired. The twang through.
All right, I think they're occupied with themselves and with the dessert. Let's go. I think we can sneak away and figure out what that is.
Yeah, so it's coming from behind a particularly large pumpkin, right? Is that something Bernardi would grow? Pumpkins?
Yeah, it's a red pumpkin.
Red pumpkin.
Amazing.
Of course. Yes. Yeah, there's the noise came from behind a big red pumpkin in one of the corners of the garden.
Vera is just going to point out the pumpkin and be like, I think it's that one. And kind of has their bow loosely at their side.
I'll try and sneak around from the side.
Okay, you do that. I'll just and they kind of look around and they're like, you do that. I'm gonna try to get it. You said there were upper windows, right?
Yes.
Vera's gonna rush inside and find a window from which she could shoot.
Okay, yeah. There's one in the kitchen, so you're not like in the restaurant itself with a.
She does her best to stay
arrow.
Out of Cleef's way so as not to freak him out anymore.
Yeah, he's looking the other direction.
Yeah, we take care of Cleef's nerves.
Yes.
Yeah. Doing one of these to Raymondina, just like, shh, it's fine. We got it under control.
When she sees that, she actually pats you, Bernardi, on the arm and like motions to go help outside with whatever's happening.
Yeah. Bernardi kind of sees Vera go up towards the window and just kind of, again, drops everything and like waddles outside and see what's up.
I love that you say waddle for every time you go somewhere. You get inspiration. Great. So Delphina, you hear like muttered cursing in Draconic coming from behind the in Yip Yak coming from behind the pumpkin.
Yeah,
as you move closer.
Yeah, she's not playing nice. She's gonna sneak up and just try and like subdue this thing. Yeah.
You see a kobold fumbling with a quiver across her back, trying to fit another arrow into a short bow she's holding.
Oh. I'm just gonna try and sneak up and just try and pin the kobold in place.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Go ahead. We don't need to roll initiative. This is definitely a surprise. And I will say, Bernardi, you are able, you know your garden so well. You take a shortcut and you get there too. So both of you can get a surprise round against this kobold. If you just want to grab him, which it seems like, or grab her, excuse me, you can go ahead and make an attack roll.
Athletics, yeah.
You'll grab them.
All right.
Excuse me.
And if I'm snuck up, I have advantage on that?
Yeah, you can have advantage on that too.
Alrighty.
Sneaky.
I don't think Bernardi would try to grab. Could Bernardi cast like plant growth or something?
Okay, yeah. So
to try to help Delphina.
So Delphina grabs the kobold and like you're hugging them, and then we can use you can use the plant growth to restrain the kobold by wrapping them up in plants.
So the vines come out of the red pumpkin and just
betrayed. Cool. Yeah. There's no need to roll. Yeah. With the So wrap up that kobold tight, like what's like a wrapped type food kind of thing. Someone give me inspiration.
Like a
burrito.
Burrito. Bam. You wrap that kobold up like a burrito.
Yeah, it's like
kobold burrito.
I think Delphina will like bare her teeth at it. It's like, we will deal with you later. Right now, just don't move.
They can't.
I'm gonna have dinner tonight.
Lots of kobold shrieks.
She says that in the kobold just so that
extra.
Just so this kobold understands. There's no
understand. Yeah. Meanwhile, that pie is going on. Oh, I'm sorry, Vera. Did you want to do anything with you? As you see all of this,
Vera is just going to keep a kind of bird's eye view on the entire rest of the gathering, making sure that no other untoward things are.
It seems happening. pretty good so far. Everything else seems good. Thule, you also are keeping a keen eye on everything. Seems like a normal service again.
And I, just to be safe, purified food and drink on the Kobold King meat.
Oh, very good. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so
just in case he got to the cask.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it seems like it's fine. He must have put the poison in his tankard and then poured the drink himself. Okay, the Kobold King and Queen are eating death by chocolate, and they're making like stupid little jokes they think are clever, like, truly, I may be dying from this chocolate doom. It's kind of cheesy mom and dad jokes that you wouldn't expect to hear, like a Cheesecake Factory. Anyway, that's not a specific example I'm drawing from in my life or anything. Just it happens, I guess, sometimes. And the Kobold King sits back, pats his stomach, and says, "This meal was excellent." And you hear from inside, "Oh, thank God!" As Cleef, he somehow heard that. The rest of the service tidies up quite nicely. The Kobold King goes into the kitchen and personally shakes your hand, Bernardi and Raymondina. It was the most excellent August rooster honeyed cabbage stew that I've ever had, he says. And sounds gross, but he loved it. And I think that's where we're going to wrap up for today. Does anyone want to do anything post-service? Like, Cleef brings you all together, and it's just like, I have had one of the worst nights of my life. And this is like the millionth time you've heard him say that. He just gets really stressed out by everything, and every night is the worst of his life. Or it would have been one of the worst nights of my life, if not for all of you.
Yeah. This is like, I get the feeling this is like tired, like post closing, and like everyone's just like,
oh yeah, I think Drinks are passed around.
Mhm.
This is very much decompress after service. Maybe staff meal. Yeah, some of that honeyed. Does anyone try the kobold kind of?
Oh, I do. I'm a bear. I love honey.
Oh yeah.
Vera will absolutely try
Nom,
it.
nom, 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 nom.
Both of you have, yes, you have a taste for this kind of sweet, weird chicken. It doesn't really taste like chicken. It's like very gamey. You know, if you ever had like goose or anything like that. Surprising, not unpleasant, just not what you expect. It's good. Yeah. Bernardi, the garden looks great. That pumpkin. Oh, so what do we do with this kobold that we've captured?
I think Bernardi just kind of like while everybody was kind of hanging out, he just casually mentions like there's somebody in the garden, and then he just goes back to drinking the mead.
By the way, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, if you want to grab the Kobold King and let him know about that, that's fine. If you want to turn them over to the City Watch like you did with the other kobold, that works too. I'm just curious, what would you like to do?
Sounds like a kobold problem. Hand him over to the kobolds.
Yeah.
Yes. The Kobold King is like, ah ha ha. Well, well, well. If it isn't Philippa the betrayer, Philippa the crass, trying to take down this old kobold, did ya? Well, not on my watch. And then he gives you all a reward of 1,000 gold for saving his life.
Good.
The Kobold King is generous with his wealth. Tell all who hear about it. And he looks at you, specifically, Delphina, and I can tell you can speak our language. I hope you heard my speech, because what I say is truly what I feel. And I hope you tell others the kobolds are good people, good, kind people, and they want what's best for all of Zobeck.
Of course, it was a rousing speech.
Oh!
And you were wonderful dinner guests. Thank you very much for coming here.
He shakes your hand. Cool. Yay. Okay, great. Everyone gain a level too. You're level 6 now.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! Hello.
Great. Does anyone have any last thing they would want to do before we end the session? Just for fun, lore stuff or whatever.
I think Bernardi, before he went out to go see what's going on with the kobold stuff, he makes like weird eye contact with Witherington the Third.
Yes, of course. I almost forgot to tie that up. Yeah.
And just tosses him a chicken of the woods, like a piece of mushroom, and just tosses it to him, gives him the thumbs up, and pieces out.
He bites into it like an apple, and he's like, oh. Amazing. And he shoots you the finger crossbows, and you get a sense that this might not be the last you've heard of Wellworth Rovington III. I give my spell inspiration for rhyming. Cool. Anything else? Anyone else? Anything else? All right. Good job. Yay. Let us talk about some things. The biggest thing right now on Kickstarter. Kobold Press has a Kickstarter called Vault of Magic. Link in chat. Bam. Just like that. Our own Victoria is one of the guest designers for a magical item on that. Very cool. And maybe soon another person will be announced who is also a guest designer. So that is very exciting. Yeah, it's not just magic items, it's magic spells. It's all like everything you need for magic. Very, very cool. Yeah, potions, weapons, armor, and then everyday magic that could become a campaign staple. In addition, this is very exciting. On March 20th, Kobold Press turns 15 years old, which, wow. Yeah, you'll be getting that and much, much more here. I think it's going to be on this channel, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Twitch TV/Kobold Press. There will be a big party all day, lots of kazoos. I'm sure lots of memories. 15 years in this industry, not something to turn your head at. That's very impressive, and such a successful and industry leader, I would say, within this space. Kobold Press, doing it right. So please, be sure to tune in then. We will see you and be reminding you over the next few months of that happening, but pretty cool. Cool. So let's go around one more time. Where can people find you on the internet? What are you currently up to? Let's start with me. My name is Rudy Basso. You can follow me on Twitter at Rudy Basso, no underscore, overlay lies. But you can also listen to the podcast that I produce called Dames and Dragons. It's a 5e actual play podcast about magical teenagers, I think is the best way to put it. Fantasy magical teenagers. So if you want to relive the high school, you can go listen to that. It's a podcast, damesanddragons.com or twitter.com/dragondames. Denny, what are you up to? Where can people find you online?
Hello, I'm Danny. You can find me all over the place at Danny Plays Games. I'm going to start streaming on my own Twitch channel at Brutal Dan, spelled like Leet speak. So it's BR00TAL Dan. And then you can also find me on Wednesdays. Every other Wednesday off the table, I'll be playing Butterball Bow in a Monster of the Week campaign. I will also be on Nomedic's Twitch channel playing a Pathfinder Space Bears game, and I will be Arugula, the druid on as a bear in space.
We also just got a challenge from Trooper in chat that the Southlands group, which is the other excellent actual play here on Kobold Press, has challenged this group to an Iron Chef challenge. So we'll work out the specifics on what that will entail in Discord, but that's something to look forward to, I'm sure. Autumn, where can people find you online? What are you up to?
Hi there. My name is Autumn Graves. You can find me at Autumn V Graves, basically anywhere on the internet. Currently, not up to much. I am actually in culinary school, so that's taking up all of my time. But if you want to hear my thoughts about that and recipes and stuff like that, if you're really into food, I do run a blog at Food Absolutely or foodabsolutely.com. I'm also a freelance writer and editor. Generally, though, I'm just screaming about tabletop RPGs into the void that is Twitter. So you can find me there. All my current projects are at autumngraves.com. I have a few things coming up in the future, though, so we'll stay tuned for that.
Very cool. Moving on, Victoria, where can people find you online? What are you up to?
Hi, you can find me at Mimi Merlot on the Twitter sphere, and I am the social media and customer service manager for Kobold Press. So you can find me anywhere Kobold is. I'm not too far away.
Great. And Lynn, where can people find you online? What are you up to?
Hey, I'm Lynn. I can be found on Flanksters on Twitter and on my channel on Twitch as well, where I play games. And you'll probably see me next in Urban Shadows on twitch.tv.otherdoc and on Wednesdays for Blades in the Dark on Twitch.tv with Saverick, where it is a downtime, and downtime is the most dramatic and most intense. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Downtime and Blades. Stuff happens. All of our Twitters also have been posted in chat by our producer, Dot. Thank you, Dot, for everything you do. Big thanks to Dot. And I think then that is going to do it for today's episode of Order Up. We'll see what wild shenanigans you all get into next week. So thank you and have a wonderful night. Bye.